There once was a time when all we wanted to do was grow up. We couldn't wait to leave home. We had our lives all planned out. We would turn 18, leave our parents' house, and never look back. And then reality hit us straight in the face, and we never even left. As babies, we didn't know anything about the real world. We didn't know how much our parents and the world would expect from us. All we knew was eat, sleep, and poop. We didn't have to worry about money, school, love. Our parents had that covered. For some of us, that's still the case. As toddlers, this is when we started to learn a little more about ourselves, like how we love to play games, whether we were right or left handed. We learned to follow basic instructions, but we still got distracted. What? Oh, yeah, easily. Then came the teenage years, the years we wish we could go back to. Not a care in the world. Sure, sometimes we hated our lives, but we didn't know what was really coming. We wanted nothing more than to get out and live our own lives, like big boys and girls. Now we're somewhere in between. This is where we, well, seem to be at now. We haven't fully crossed that line into adulthood, but I wouldn't say we're children either. Dictionary.com definition for Twixters, a person stuck between childhood and the adult world, often living with their parents. Adulthood sounds great when we were kids. It's when we thought it would be the best years of our lives, and we quickly realized that wasn't it. Sure, it has its advantages, but everything had its price. How many adults don't wish they were kids again? Let's be serious. Being an adult comes with choosing a career to settle into, which isn't as easy as it was when we were five and said we would be doctors or astronauts. There's more to just saying it. As Twixters, it's not that we don't want a career, we just don't want to settle. We want to make sure that the career choice we make will be the one we won't end up hating or regretting. With settling down comes trying to find the right one, as many say. You know, the one you start a family with. But we aren't rushing things. We want to see what everyone has to offer. So when the right one does come, it's a little more than perfect. With school and everything else, we're trying to figure things out. We want to come out with a degree that leads us to find the right and perfect career, with great pay, of course. We all know we'll need it to pay those student loans off. They aren't going to pay themselves, which leads us to job while in college because we're trying to juggle everything in between. We're trying to find a way to make fast cash to try to make ends meet. It isn't that we can't keep a job, that isn't the case at all. Living at home makes that a little easier for us. It doesn't mean we're babied, though, even though for some it may be the case. We're not just a bunch of big babies. We're just trying to figure things out the right way. Now, this doesn't mean mommy and daddy are doing everything for us and paying for our living expenses as well as outings. Some of us even pay rent. How is that any different from living anywhere else? Waiting to marry and move out may sometimes be better. According to The Atlantic, Americans are getting married later and later. The average age is 27 for women and 29 for men. Women are benefiting from this most financially. Women are putting their education first and making more money than those who marry young. Isn't that a shocker? According to Time magazine, we are nothing but lazy, entitled, selfish, and shallow. Kind of harsh, don't you think? And what makes it okay for them to say that? Well, according to the National Institute of Health, 58% more college students scored higher on a narcissism scale back in 2009 than in 1982. I graduated from high school 2011, still live at home with mom and dad, go to school, and have a job. Does their definition describe me? I would hope not. No matter what, you never really have life planned out like you think you do. We're slowly trying to figure it out, and even though I don't think Time magazine's definition describes every Twixter, like other people may think so. I honestly believe that it isn't that we refuse to grow up or that we can't. I just think that we want to make the right choices. I'd rather know exactly where I'm going than completely fail on my own. Take my cousin who is 30 and still lives at home. She has a career as a teacher and continues to go to school to get her master's. She's only trying to better herself to make the right choices. She doesn't have any worries but her own. Does that make her bad? I don't think so. I believe that most choices aren't excelling to have the traditional lifestyles their elders prefer them to have because they're trying to discover themselves as well as what the world has to offer before they make any permanent life decisions, as well as they have a sort of safety net with the lives they live. My mom has always told me to follow my dreams and that as long as I was in school and trying to pursue that dream, then she wouldn't mind me staying at home. I support myself financially as much as I can and I help out every which way I can. My parents have never made it too easy for me. They simply supply me with the support and insurance I need to make the right choices. As many people believe that Twixters are terrible, selfish, centered people and big babies, I simply think they're making smarter, different choices so that in the long run, it's better for their own families and generations to come.